Hello, welcome to Game 3 of the match, Caetra versus Jakkdl. This is a medium games match in the medium games tournaments. If you are interested in playing any of these tournaments, go on over to the Dominion Discord. There's a small games for players with a certain rating threshold, and then above that there's a medium games, and then above that there's plenty of other opportunities and tournaments to play that don't involve certain rating thresholds. And if you are coming here and you're not on the Dominion Discord, let me know in the comments, please. I'm happy to hear from other people who are not regular players over there and who are watching these videos. So, a lot of yellow here on this kingdom. We have village. We have draw. A couple different draw. Archive, Wayfarer kind of experiment. We have a little bit of an attack with Relic and Idle. Maybe won't come up. So, what are we building towards? Obviously, we're building towards provinces. That's the goal. And the deck that gets provinces has some villages in it and some draw cards in it. That could end up being Sauna Village, but I think you're also going to supplement that with Mining Village Wayfarer. Sauna is the only way to trash, so you at least want to get one Sauna, maybe a couple. And then once you've gotten a couple Saunas, you end up getting all the Avantos, and then that's your deck. I think after that point, we realize we don't have any plus buy. So there's a 1 in 10 chance of getting a plus buy from the first idle you play a turn. So for every idle you have in your deck, there's somewhere between a 1 in 10 and 1 in 20 chance of getting a plus buy. There's also Earth's Gift, which gives you a gain. So you could gain an extra village or some experiments. Probably I'm not going to gain a ton of experiments here because we're buy limited. We can gain silvers with Wayfarer, but I don't really think I want silvers. I do want relics, 1 relic at least to get that attack going, and probably a pair of idols in my Sauna deck. And I don't think you need a Hoard. So if that is just silver, relic, idle, if that's the extent of my treasures and I'm getting a single province a turn once I get to that point, it seems reasonable. Along the way, I'll certainly pick up, on 3s you can pick up silvers. So they've also opened Sauna silver. Neither of them collided on turn 3 or turn 4. Jakkdl got the Wayfarer, early Wayfarer. How do I feel about that? It indicates to me that they're not going for Sauna draw. They're going for Mining Village Wayfarer draw. That could be okay here. It's a little bit harder to get thin with only 1 Sauna, but you can certainly do it. Honestly, though, I prefer, I think, in that kind of spot, the early Archive, because it's non-terminal. You can line stuff up a little bit better. And in turn 4, they get experiments. As I said, the reason I don't like experiments here is you just only have so many buys in the game. And the experiments certainly are accelerating your deck, but they also take one of your precious buys that you get during the game. So, depending on what Jack wants to do with this turn, they're thinking about whether or not they want to play their experiment. They've got 6 money. And I like Archive here for the draw, if they're not going for the Sauna stuff, which it appears they're not. It's too early, I think, to start in on the idols. You want to be thinner and more reliable drawing. And you've already got 1 terminal, Wayfarer, and no villages. This is a little bit of a weird kingdom with like a Sauna stack. Cash is actually playable. If you thin all your coppers, only have 5 money left, you can pick up the cash, and then your Sauna is likely to draw next turn and trash the coppers. As I said, I'd much rather play with idols and relics here, so that's not really an issue, but it's something you can watch out for on these kind of kingdoms. We'll see what Caetra does on 5. They follow suit with the Archive. A little bit unfortunate drawing the Archive dead. Interesting. They took the silver. Maybe their thinking is that the Wayfarer silvers are good for gaining for trashing with Sauna. I'm not fully understanding that, though. In that kind of deck, I guess I would play with another archive here. The idea being we're going to get a couple of archives going and try to line up in trash, and then when we're done, we'll have the archives to help us filter out the coppers early and the estates to get trashed, and then later on I'll help you filter out the greens. I just feel like in a gain-limited kingdom here, we want to be really focusing our gains on what we can do. Undo, please, Caetra, so you can trash. Thank you. I feel like the autoplay used to be different. Like, it used to autoplay the silver first and make you ask every time. I don't 100% remember how that worked, but I'm always trashing maximally in this kind of kingdom. I don't think I see no reason to buy away. I just didn't see a reason to buy Wayfarer at all with the kind of decks that they're building. With archives, I don't want to go with archives or Wayfarer Mining Village. It also doesn't seem crazy to me to actually go for the Sauna Vanto stack even if your opponent isn't, because they seem to both be slowly working their way through these piles. And consistent with what Jakkdl's been doing, I would play the silver, trash the estate, and then buy an archive. If you can get like 3 archives in a finished deck, you can play 1 each turn. That's quite nice. And then maybe you can play your Wayfarer for dead draw at the end of that turn to draw what is hopefully just yellow and green cards. Obviously, I'd prefer to have no yellow cards left in my deck, which is why I like the second Sauna. And then once both players having two Saunas, you picking up a third Sauna makes sense because you're exposing the Avanto pile for yourself. Especially once your opponent has gone for Wayfarers, you feel better about exposing the Avantos. I guess consistent with what they've been doing, they can gain a silver here and then buy an archive. And they should be able to thin out fairly quickly with all the archives and the silvers, multiple silvers coming in per turn for their 1 Sauna. Normally, I would say I would expect this game to have gone hard Sauna Vanto with both players emptying the pile. There's kind of an up and down with Sauna Vanto. It's kind of like Rebuild, where there's a time when you don't know how it works, and then you learn how it works, and it's the strongest thing in the world. And yeah, but they don't have any villages without the saunas, so you're happy to open, like, if there's strong villages and trashing without saunas, then I'm fine with that. But there's not strong villages and trashing without saunas. So, since there's not strong villaging and trashing without saunas, opening the Avantos doesn't have that opportunity cost. Yeah, so here they need to take the archive. Unfortunately, they're playing them all in the same turn, which maybe at this early state of the game is actually good. It lets them hopefully get a big trash off this turn, or a decent trash off this turn, and then a big trash off next turn. I think they want to be playing their Sauna every turn that they can. It's a little bit unfortunate that at bottom deck, hence the me wanting a second Sauna. But next turn they'll have they'll start with the Sauna and the silver and cards to trash. I would even consider buying that second Sauna right now, because there's a very likely chance that they'll be able to trash 2 next turn. Sorry, trash 4 next turn. If they can draw the other Sauna and this silver, the other Sauna ahead of the Wayfarer. So what are the odds of that? 4 and 6. You're drawing 4 cards out of 6, so there's like a 2/3 chance they could trash 4 next turn if they bought a Sauna. If I'm doing that math right. Trashing 2 here will be okay though, and hopefully they can trash 1 or 2 next turn, and they'll be close to getting thin. They probably need to pick up another archive this turn, as they don't have any more archives coming in for another 2 turns. I said the ideal is like you play 1 archive each turn, but in practice you end up with like 3 one turn and 0 the next 2 turns. That happens a lot with archives. Sometimes in these early game situations, it's actually helpful to clump your stuff together. And you want to take estate copper here. I think they wanted to take that estate to trash it here. No silver right now. You have plenty of money, and you don't want to gain another silver unless that silver puts you over the province territory. In terms of what they're doing now, and I'll note, Caetra got a Hoard last turn. I've been watching Jack a little bit closer, and a province the turn before. The Hoard does essentially nothing for you. You don't have plus buy, so those extra golds are not helpful to you in your deck. You don't really want to have golds in the deck. As I mentioned, you want sort of what my desired is Relic, double Idol, silver, 8 money. Idol will potentially do good things for you and hurt your opponent. Relic will hurt your opponent. And then you'll just buy provinces. So in order to keep up, Jack could go for province here. I think I prefer getting another archive to try to draw that next turn, get that going, and then hopefully start provincing next turn, and hopefully thin a little bit more. Notably, if they'd taken the estate here off of their archive, they would have trashed an estate instead of a copper. So they've had 3 money coming in next turn instead of 2. Unless Jack is thinking a level beyond me, which is that they're saving that estate forever, and they're considering that the tiebreaker estate. So the idea being Caetra has trashed 3 estates, Jack has trashed 2 estates. If they both buy 4 provinces, then Jack will win 25-24. So even on what is pretty much a dud turn, Caetra is able to buy a province there, which is nice. Ooh, very important. Play the idol first. If you flip over Earth's Gift, which lets you discard a treasure to gain a 4 cost, they certainly would take that to gain Experiments, Mining Village, Sauna. All those seem good, and they'd still have 8 money to buy a province. So you really need to make sure to play the idol first. They miss a copper trash with the Sauna as well. Yeah, this is a heavy play order kingdom. Again, adding the gold to the deck there seems pretty bad. Yeah, this is a kingdom where I wonder if you can turn off play all treasures. You have one to play all treasures with Sauna around and with Idol around, but both those are sort of the canonical cards. What's the other one? Grand Market is another card where you don't want to play all treasures. And obviously like Villa Cavalry type stuff. Villa Priest, I guess I'm thinking of, is you don't want to play all your treasures. You want to gain the Villa and then play the Priest to trash another copper for 4 money. Earth's Gift. Yeah, I think you've got to take Earth's Gift here and buy another archive or a duchy or something. I think you've got time. I don't like the makeup of Caetra's deck yet, so I think you've got time as Jack. Here, I think you take the Wayfarer and play it for dead draw. You get to draw all 3 of those instead of 1, and you've got an archive coming in next turn. And you're fairly likely to hit 8. As we see here, you're guaranteed you would have hit 11. And I'm not sure what the thought here is. You're just always going to take Relic as the best card here. It's strictly better than the silver. Normally that's the Wind's Curse. This is a case where Wind's Gift was actually quite nice. It filtered out those 2 provinces from the top of the deck. Yeah, I don't like... I mean, we're only on turn 12, but I really want these decks to have gotten thinner. And by doing that, we could have... could be doing more with these turns. You'd be guaranteeing province and getting an attack in every turn. 2 attacks in, potentially. That was a good decision to set the Hoard aside. If they're just going to buy a duchy, they don't need more golds. Yeah, as I said, I wish I had the archive coming in hand. A little bit unlucky that the Wayfarer's in the bottom half of the deck, but Earth's Gift is gone, but you can play the Idol first anyways, just to see what happens. Would you pass up Swamp's Gift if you got it here? I think I might pass up Swamp's Gift if I got it here, given the state of these decks, which is weird, but... sorry. The client wasn't knowing what was happening. They were thinking about what to do with their turn. That's not super helpful there. I mean, they're going to get the Forest Gift soon enough. Yeah, and I think as Jack, again, you just buy the province and say you win if you get a province this turn. If you don't get a province this turn, I'm going to win next turn. I've got 4 money coming in. If you Duchy Dance, you're just... The Duchies run out and then you're down. And the minus card token's not nothing. They did have a card on their mat, so perhaps Jack made the right decision. You don't know what the card on their mat is, the way Archive is worded. But now you're in a tough spot. They've got to miss Duchy once and Estate once for you to win, it looks like. Or you've got to hit them with the... Yeah, there's no good curses. As I said, these coppers, not having thinned all the coppers is really rough. I mean, I guess you take Sky's Gift at this point. It feels bad, and as Caetra here, you do start taking the golds because you've switched to just playing kind of a money-ish thing. With 4, not clear at all to me what one buys. I don't really see an out. Like if you had a second idol and you were giving hexes, there's some potential outs, but I'm not really seeing at this point what Jack can do there for 4. They got an Estate, which I don't know, feels rough, but we've switched to like a money-ish slog. And Caetra's approaching 50% VP, although again we've got some amount of hexes that technically you could give them 10 curses and twice miserable, I suppose, which is minus 14. Although they do have trashing, so I feel like, yeah, I guess Cat can take the Estates now. I mean, they're in realm of 50% VP, so they can just buy the Estate pile out. And certainly here they need to buy an Estate, so they'll be down. They'll be up 7. Yeah, I agree. If Jack had gone for idols earlier, they could have, when you fall behind. So again, I really wanted that second Sauna. Didn't want the Wayfarer to get thin. A lot of drawing actions dead for both players with Wayfarer. That's a fairly nice one. I guess there's a possibility if that idol flipped over Field's Gift, right? Who went first in this game? Caetra went first. If idol flipped over Forest's Gift and they had 10, they could get Province Estate and get the tie. That's not unreasonable. As you see, like, Caetra's deck has somewhat fallen apart at this point. One can argue that maybe they started greening a touch early, but that they've been able to consistently get duchies. So I don't know if the deck we're talking about with the idols can beat that. Now, what does one buy with these 6s? What's the pile to lower? Do you just lower the Sauna pile? Do you lower Archives, Experiments, Idols? I suppose you take Idols or Golds, one of those 2 cards. They're found in Archive now, so they're fairly likely to be able to get there. And as Jack, I think you take Archives, I guess. I mean, we're at the point now where we've actually gone down to whoever hits, Caetra hits Province first, they win. If Jack hits Province, they tie. They'll have 2 turns to look for it with the Archives. And think as Jack you wait. Oh, never mind. Immediately proven wrong by the cards. Well, this is quite a surprising outcome to me. I thought Jack was pretty far behind. Caetra had just like all those 7s and 6s in a row. That was a little bit unlucky. But I thought they had played that a little bit better and more consistently. It turned into quite a slog at the end. I feel like the idle deck, the really thin deck that gets behind but then hits them with idols, catches up there. And eventually you're hitting the force because you're seeing that both idols every turn. Add that as a tie, and I will see you in game 4.